Good afternoon. As you know, I'm Megan with Education Possible. I'm so glad you're here. I've been working with BookShark this year for their all-in-one curriculum for middle schoolers. It's been great. We've been using it as a family. It's been a lot of fun. And recently they came out with a kit for elections. And with everything that's going on in the world, it's important that we teach our tweens and our teens about our government. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit about their Lapbook kit that they have. It comes in this handy dandy little box. And it's a well-designed hands-on activity that makes it easy for you to teach your kids about the election process in America. It's a great supplement for any U.S. history and government course. So that's where I'm adding it. I'm adding it into my American history course for my teen, and it's just a great little supplement. It gives a little bit of a hands-on element to it and makes it a little bit more fun and interactive. So inside the box, you're going to find instruction and materials for 21 projects that incorporate creative writing, illustration, and research. There's pages of information for your kids to use to learn about elections. You can see all these pages. It's one of the projects, but all kinds of information already researched and at your fingertips. Just about everything you need to complete the different projects. All the printed pages. You'd see here all the Lapbook pages that are printed, colored paper, cardstock, whatever you need. Supplies, little set of supplies. You're going to have to supply colored pencils, crayons, markers, whatever your kid wants to use, some scissors, things like that. But most everything comes in this box. And this booklet that actually shows you how to complete each one of the little projects that goes into the Lapbook. So you're going to go through a ton of topics that cover all aspects of our government, our elections, the process. Topics like the different forms of government, not just ours, but around the world, the three branches of our government, the terms of office, caucuses, primaries, media and advertising, how they affect races, and the Electoral College. Those are just a handful of things that you're going to have within this Lapbook once you're finished. Personally, I love the idea of Lapbooks, but I was regularly intimidated by them, by all the folding, the cutting, how to put it all together, and the printing. Oh my gosh, all the printing. It used to drive me crazy. Mad scramble trying to find colored paper, colored cardstock. Did I have a mix of colors so it all didn't look like one color in our Lapbook? And most times we ended up with all these white little projects in a Lapbook because I never had what I needed. It was so frustrating. So I actually stopped doing them for quite a while. But BookShark makes it so easy for you because almost everything you need is in that little box. No printing, no gathering, just follow the instructions, cut and adhere, put it together. And because your kids are older, they can do it themselves. You're not even the main one having to do it all like you were when your kids were younger. Personally, I got frustrated too with Lapbooks because the instructions that would come with Lapbooks were minimal. And I'd get often I'd get one picture at the very end of a grainy, it was a grainy picture of a completed Lapbook. And I somehow had to search and figure out which one of the little booklets went where, which one was what. And it was just frustrating. But BookShark understands that, and that's what I really, really appreciate about them. That's why they have this 27-page colored instruction booklet showing you how to complete every activity and its placement within the completed project. So, for example, we look at this page, the presidential campaign platform. Every single page, you're going to have material lists. The materials that they provided for you and materials that you need to find. So like I said, the colored pencil, the scissors. There's directions on how to complete each of the little booklets that are going to go onto the Lapbook. How to color them, how to cut them out, how to assemble them. And then every single page has this little colored picture of the completed Lapbook with your current project circled. So you know exactly where it goes within the pages when it's completed. It makes it so easy. And every single page is here for all the different booklets that you're going to put together. It's fabulous. It makes it so easy for your kids to do on their own. Now, if you have older kids that aren't in activities like this anymore, you can still use this awesome tool. And I recommend it because so much of the work is already done for you. They have done a lot of the research. You can expand on the research, but they have all the information the kids need, all the different topics that you would want to cover with them. And so you could still use it. Instead of making the full Lapbook, use the projects and the information provided for notebooking assignments in your history lessons. Your kids can add the assignments to their American history notebook if they have one, or start a new one just for government and elections. In our house, we've used all kinds of things for our notebooking. We've used 3-ring binders, spiral-bound notebooks, and composition books. It really depended on kind of what the girls were into, how big of a notebook we needed, whether we were trying to combine subjects, how much notebooking I felt we were going to do for a particular subject. So your tweens can still make and add the projects to their notebook and expand on them that you want them to study, or look at other ones that interest them. They can just expand on ones that really kind of pique their interest. Or they don't have to complete the little projects at all, the little booklets and all the things that you cut and paste together. They can just take the information that's included between the text and the instruction booklet that I showed you and use it as headers for their notebooking pages. Personally, I love notebooking because it's a low stress way to get kids writing frequently. It gives them practice summarizing points, helps with plagiarism down the line, and helps them build their research skills. I've used notebooking for a lot of years, and I really think that if you have not included it yet for your middle schooler, this is a great way to add it in. And if you use this kit, a lot of the work is already done for you because you're not researching what topics you really want your kids to dive into. So when you're using this kit for your notebooking assignments, use the pages that are included as a jumping off point for more in-depth research. Because so much of the work is already done for you, it's very easy to build in some expanded study that you'll want for your older kids. You're going to need them, the older they are, the more information you're going to need them to kind of research and just dive into and take a deeper look at in order to count it for different credits. So I want to share with you some ideas you can use to utilize this kit as part of notebooking for your homeschool. So I made some pages to make it easier for you to see what I was talking about. You can either make pages like these for your kids to fill out by hand, just type, write them out on the computer, type them out on the computer. They could do it all on the computer themselves, or they can write it directly in their notebooks. You don't have to use computer printed at all. And mine do that. They'll just kind of write headers, they'll write little boxes, they'll write bullet notes, all different things. They'll just be creative with their own journals, notebooking, but they almost look like journals sometimes. And if they don't want to put together the paper project, the little projects, they could just stick that right on and then add below that. They could just write directly from the paper project. So here we have the different forms of government. They could have a header on the one page, the different forms of government, or they can cut this out, paste it together, and make the little booklet and kind of put that in their notebook and then go on from there for what I'm going to show you. So here's some examples for notebooking that you can do with your teens that are going to give them the opportunity for further learning and make it a little bit older for them. So again, looking at the project for the different forms of government, where kids are going to learn about governments like monarchies, aristocracies, democracies, republics, and more. So have your kids take this, make it, cut it out, and add it to their notebook. They can write in the different forms that they find. They're looking at rule of many, rule of few, rule of one, kind of where the different governments fit. So then to expand on that, I made this page. And so have them research famous governments and leaders, past and present, and find where they fit and list them under that category. So under the rule of one, what are the governments, or what was the country and the ruler, and what type of government was it? So then they can just take it a step further in a notebook. And this could go in a 3-ring binder just like this. They could handwrite it in a composition book, whatever makes it easy and interesting for your kids. That's the key. You want to get them engaged, and this will help them do that. Then once they have that information, they can the information that they found during that research, they could fill out something like this: the form of government. What are some of the pros and cons of the form of government? So they researched some dictatorships. They researched monarchies. What are some pros and cons to both of those types of governments? And you could do different boxes for that as well. So they're going to be looking at the branches of government. Again, they could fill this out, color it in, they could put it in their notebook, or they can draw a tree in their notebook themselves and kind of go from there. One way to take it a step further with notebooking is to go deeper. They could take a look, because you're looking at you're looking at the House of Representatives, you're looking at the Senate, how we get our representatives, how many we have. They can look at all the states and fill this in and list all the states and the number of representatives they have in the House. And then it gives them a visual picture of exactly how many they have. Then they can put them in order and take a look at the size of the state and its population and how many representatives they're getting. Again, it takes them a step further, gives them a visual tool. They're engaging with it because they're writing it down, and they really enjoy that. They can choose a famous campaign slogan. There's a section in there where they talk about campaign slogans, and they have a handful, but they can do more research, find even more. There's thousands of them out there. Choose something that they like. Use a page in their notebook, or make something on the computer. Have them make a campaign flyer with that slogan. Then they're being creative. They're engaging with the material. When they're learning about interest groups, another section in here that they learn about, have your teens research a few and list the issues each group is fighting for. What are they trying to get, and how are they going about getting what they're trying to accomplish? How are they trying to reach that goal? So I hope you see how you could take a kit like this that is fabulous, has a lot of the work done for you. It's all included. You can use it as it is, or you could take it in a different direction for some of your older kids who don't want to do the more crafty things, but you could still use the majority of what's included for them with notebooking. It's a great hands-on supplement to your U.S. history or government from the team at BookShark. If you have any questions about BookShark's all-in-one curriculum for older kids, like I said, we've been looking through that all year, love it, or anything to do with homeschooling tweens or teens, don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon.